Yes, people, welcome back to GNA TV and Chelsea Fan TV for another match preview, which we'll be going through. Quite a lot of stuff to catch up to with today as well, guys. Quite a bit. We're going to go through the press conference to start with, obviously in regards to the game and Pochettino's comments, which is currently on as we speak at the moment, guys. So that's something that we will keep an eye on. Also, along with that, we're going to be talking about the sporting directors and the comments from Matt Law yesterday in regards to that as well. So we've got the sporting directors to talk about. We've got the press conference to talk about. We've got comments from Enzo Fernandez yesterday. We've got a bit of transfer news in regards to Esteval as well, which we'll be talking about as well. And then we're going to break into some head-to-head details about the Brighton game. And then we're going to do our player lineups for the game as well, guys. Do me a favor, those over 50 people here already, smash the likes buttons, guys. Keep running up the likes. We need to get as many likes as we possibly can, if we can as well. Smash the likes. Subscribe if you're new here to GNA TV and Chelsea Fan as well. Both on the route to trying to get 10k, and obviously on Chelsea Fan TV, we're trying to achieve that magic 250k as well. Smash it, and let's cue the intro. Yes, people, welcome back to GNA TV and Chelsea Fan TV for this match preview of Brighton versus Chelsea, which starts tomorrow at 7:45. Lots to get into, lots to discuss. We will be talking about, to start with, we'll be talking about the press conference comments from Pochettino. We have got team news as well. We've got a load to go through. Transfer news. We've got sporting director talks as well to get into. There's quite a lot for us to assess and go through, guys. So we'll make sure we fly through as much of this as we possibly can, which we will do. Also got the panel as well, who will be joining us today at some point as well in the show. Lots to get into this. Say hello to you at the moment. Jamie, how you doing? Leo, nice to see you. Joey, what we saying? Bloody good to see you, my boy. I hope all is good and I've missed your content badly. Listen, we're back. We're back and we've been pushing out good content for the last, couple of weeks now as well. You've been seeing us. So you're going to get more of it, guys, because transfer news, transfer details, all of that, we're going to be doing that over the summer period as well. So we're not just going to disappear after the season finishes as well. So you're going to get a lot from us, guys. You're going to get a lot from us, trust me, coming through as well to watch. But let's start with this because I've ordered mine already. I want to get your thoughts and opinions on this as well, guys. Like, wrong one. Wrong one, guys. Where is it? Where is he? What's your thoughts on these bad boys? What are your thoughts on these bad boys, guys? Hey, come on. Come on. Now, this is the retro kit, guys. This is the retro kit that was brought out today in black and white as well. I'm not going to lie. I've purchased the black. The white, I feel like you can't see anything, but I've purchased the black. I've gone with the black style here. I'm not going to lie. What do you think, guys? I want to know your ratings in the chat. Get your ratings in the chat. I want to know what people's thoughts are. Big up Couch in the building as well. Couch, will be getting you on if you're around soon, brother. Make sure you come on as well. Over 50 people in the building right now, guys. Keep tapping the screen. Share it out, guys. We need to get the likes up. Hit the fun that's sitting below you right now. Hit it, guys. Also, give us a comment in the chat. I want to know what your thoughts are on this specifically. Big up Chelsea, but if I get the white one, I'll spill spaghetti the next day. That's the problem, isn't it? That's something I would do as well. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, same. The white one, do you know what it is with the white one? Where is it? Let's get a better picture of the white one. The white one for me, I just feel like you can't see like the badge. And it's not as clear as the black. And I don't think they're both as clear, but the black one for me is just more, I don't know. I like the retro style of the black one. I just feel like, I don't think the cameras do it justice. I think it's one of them ones. When it comes, if you're ordering it, when it comes, it'll look a bit naughty, like there. Like I've personally, I've ordered the black one. Yeah, I've ordered the black one. This is a sub to say no to racism. Couch. They got Couch in the building. Couch, when you're free, jump in, brother. I'll put the link in the chat in a bit. Lots to get through in the meantime. Guys, if you're watching me over on Twitter as well, come and say hello. Come and smash a like on here as well. There's over 15 people on Twitter there. We've got 50 people in total at the moment. Keep running it up. We have still got the press conference on as well. And let's go to the press conference because that's where we're going to go next. That's where we're going to go next. We're going to go through quickly Pochettino's comments and assessments today. It's only literally just happened as well, guys. The first thing that we've got to highlight is look how small that list is. Look how small that list is, guys. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 injuries. Ben Chilwell, Carney, Sanchez, Enzo, Fafana, Lavia. Don't get me wrong. Some serious balling names there, like Lavia, Enzo, Fafana, Carney. I don't know too much about Ben Chilwell anymore and Sanchez, but, there's still some top players there that we're actually missing and are injured at the moment as well. But the most important thing with that list is look how small it's getting. Look how small it's getting, Our sports, isn't it? It's 50 quid. I paid £54 for it, guys. So go and check it out. It's on the Chelsea Megastore website. I've got the black one. I went and bought the black one. Dennington, what you saying? I'm tempted to get the black one too. Man, get yourself a merch link. Hey, I should do Dennington, shouldn't I? I might have a little chat. We should have a little chat with Chelsea's Megastore. That's a good shout. That's a good shout. We'll have a little chat with Chelsea's Megastore and see if we can get some little discounts going on here and put some links in here for you guys as well. That's something I'll actually mention. Josh, what are you saying, brother? Good to see you. Hope you're well as always, bro. Big up Joey as well. Same. Shame that game 37, but still happy everyone is coming back. Yeah, exactly, Chelsea. I feel exactly the same as well. I feel exactly the same. Tears in my eyes. Wish next season we can have a healthy squad right now. Well, with a healthy squad, it looks very good, doesn't it? Like we've got some top players that we've missed, have been missing for a long period of time, and they're all sort of coming back in, and it's just, yeah. Big up Don. Big up Don as well. Wherever he is. Big up Don. Right, let's move on from here. So that's the injury list that we know about. But what I want to do is assist the Pochettino press conference quickly and talk about some of his comments. We've got some news going into the sporting directors that I want to review from Matt Law yesterday as well. We're going to talk about Esteval when it comes to the transfer news as well. We've also got talks around... Ben Jacobs is... we can remove that because I already spoke about it. We also got talks around Enzo's comments in regards to his injury and the head-to-head comments, and then obviously the FIFA build-up to the big game tomorrow at 7:45. Chelsea still have a massive chance to get into European football. We're going to assess that at some point as well today. Some point very soon anyway. So keep smashing the likes. Let's get us over 100 people. We're on our way to getting there as well. So let me just highlight that as well. Let's go through some of these comments that Pochettino has brought out today. It was very good news to have many players back on track. Chile is really close, but not 100% to be part of the squad. Carney also, we need to assess if they can be in the squad all the weekend. So there you go. So 2 players out of that list that could be on the road or on the potential of being available are Chile and Carney. We've only got 2 games left. I don't think you should really rush it. Do we need to have Chile and Carney back in the team for the last 2 games? I don't think so. You're not going to really play them. They're not going to get played. Just sign them off for the summer. Let them go and do what they got to do. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't worry too much about trying to get them in with 2 games at the end. I think we have the squad to go and try and win the next 2 games. It's important to keep strong the mentality and and really believe that we can get Europe. So he still believes that we can get Europe, which we can. There's also big news in and around Newcastle because I think they're missing Isak and Callum Wilson for the Man United game tomorrow as well. So they're missing 2 of their main strikers tomorrow, which could leave them a bit vulnerable to Man United. Now, listen, I'm not asking Man United to do us any favours because it's Man United. At the end of the day, we know Man United. Man United are crap. Let's be serious. They're crap. Hey, big up cricket. Welcome. Thank you for coming in and tuning in. We appreciate you. Good to see you. Yeah, but if they want to, that's what I'm saying. There's no point in rushing back into the team now, is there? Do you know what I mean, Josh? It's not really. You know what I mean? We've got 2 games left. It's not worth it. Yes, Joey, guys, if we can smash the likes. Nearly 100 people in the building. Come and say hello, guys. Come and say hello in the chat as well, please. I'm going to be 2 really tough. It's going to be 2 really tough games. Always the most important is to believe the team's doing well. The last 26, 27 games we're doing really, really well. So he's highlighting the last 26, 27, and you can say we've done very well. It's been a very up and down season overall. Even through the period of them 27 games where we have played, I think we've lost a game at home in the last 13 or something like that. This is a record. You know, some of it's been good football. I'm not going to sit here and say no. Some of it's been very good football. Other times it's been pull your hair out, typical Chelsea type of football where we go 2-0 up like we did against Luton, and then all of a sudden we're scrambling, so we're in 3-2. Do you know what I mean? And they get back in the game. Like, it's been a lot of that. Newcastle at home as well was another one where it was just up and down. It was, there's been some up and down and really interesting games. We are going to do we're going to do an end of season review show as well at the end of the season and talk about the manager, his overall season at Chelsea, the players. There's lots to get into, guys. Honestly, it's not just about transfer news, which we will be covering over the summer period. It's also going to be end of season reviews, players that we believe should stay, should go, things like that. We'll be doing a lot going on this channels, guys. After all the circumstances, in case we get Europe, it's a very good thing for us. But always we are going to judge people because of the results or the process, put in all the circumstances we had. That's difficult to judge. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree with him. I think there was, you can't ignore the substitutions that we've had, the players that we've had injured. You can't ignore the weakness of the bench and the amount of young players that we've took into games because of the amount of injuries we've had. I get all that, and I think that does weigh a massive factor in why maybe we haven't been as progressive as we'd want to be. At the same time, it's his first season at Chelsea as well. Was it always going to be up and down? Yeah. There was a point where it just felt like we was just going rock bottom. And I think that was the real worry. And that's where the fans were kind of saying, look, this guy can't turn it around. This guy's struggling to turn it around. It's just been topsy-turvy. It really has. And it really depends how he finishes the season, Yes, smash the likes, people. Don's in the building. How we doing, Don the boy? Couch is in here as well. Guys, we're going to get the panel in soon as well, so they'll be in at some point. You can look at the last 10 minutes of the game. The caliber of players on the pitch shows you what we've been missing. True. I agree with that. There are some specific names that we can't ignore. 100%. Right, let's fly through this quickly. What's he saying here? I've never said that I was not thinking in the future. I am thinking in the future. I never said I was not thinking in the future. I am thinking in the future. The plan is there to start preseason. It's not in my hands to be or not to be here. So I get what he's saying. He's still left in the dark. And I keep telling people this. They're not talking to him. They're not talking to him. That's fine, Don. They're not talking to him until we get a clear idea of where we are at the end of the season. And I do think there was a target at the beginning of the season to finish in the Europa League. At minimum, bare minimum. And I don't think Europa League Conference was a part of that. I think the expectation was to get European football. And I think that's where it is still at the moment. And I don't think they're going to react yet. Yeah. However, it's just, we just got to wait. I've said this about the owners, and he's mentioned a couple of times, there's a lack of communication. They're not really talking to him as much. Are they probably going out and talking to other managers? Yes, probably are. They probably are seeing what's available and around. Why wouldn't they? I don't see why they shouldn't. But the question is, for me, getting rid of him, it's then who you bring in. And that's my thing at the moment. Do we just give him another season and allow to see the progression? Because then if he stays the second season, we can't have the same season as we had this season. We have to start seeing progression. So finishing sixth, for an example, or sixth, obviously. Sixth, not fifth, because we can't catch Spurs. Sixth, for example, and then going into next season, strengthening the squad, and Pochettino stays, once for season under his belt as well, there's going to be pressure. There's going to be massive pressure. And the targets will probably change for him as well. And we'll have to finish in the top 6 again. But I think the Champions League position next season will be pressured on him to make sure we get. There will be higher targets next season. But he has and I've said it for a long time now. People that know it for long enough. I've always said he has to get European football for me. there is absolutely nothing available manager-wise. And this is the thing. It does depend who is available. If you look at the table since 2012, we're in fourth. You can see the fight in the team. He absolutely deserves a look with a fit team, unless the manager would crumble with the team he's played with. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think he has had his moments of crumble, though, and big question marks in his own coaching abilities, in a coach that's meant to be the most experienced we've had since Tuchel, because he's got more experience than Potter. He's got more experience than Lampard. So I think the expectation of what we expect, or I do specifically, talking for myself, of what I expect from him is a bit more, because he is an experienced coach. And there's been moments where I'm a bit like, you're not showing it on the pitch. And it's not always about... He has a very, very young team. Of course he does. That all has to play into consideration, and we can't ignore that he's got a very, very young team. I'm not ignoring that. I understand that there's going to be inconsistencies in what we do. For me, it's about the problem solving. For me, it's about the man management. For me, it's about making, them earlier substitutions that maybe could have affected the game. For me, it's about how he's dealt with specific moments in games, how he set us up, how he create, instead of only having one problem, making it two problems. Because these are all things that he's doing. This is not all things it's not all just, it's because he's got a young team, he's got no players. This is all things that he's doing. I don't forget going to Man United away and having one real big problem in the team, which was having no right back. We had no Chalobah, we had no James, and we had no Gusto. And we only had one left back. And instead of playing him in his natural position, we played him on the right. So equivalently, he just gave us two problems rather than one, because then he completely outbalanced the squad completely. Like, there was little things that this is probably just me, the way I am, but I am very intricate. I am very picky in the way that I really watch matches, and I really watch the coaches, and I really try and see what they do to affect games. And there's moments where I felt like he hasn't affected games or done enough. And that's not even down to the players that he's got on the pitch or even the bench. That's it for me, really. But credit where credit's due. As he turned it around slightly in in this period, yes. Is he starting to show more consistency in his system? Yes, because he wasn't showing any consistency in his system. He would play two games in one system and then switch it to completely something different. He'd make stupid decisions like playing Gallagher off the left against Sheffield United, which was no point. Completely outbalanced the team again, which we ended up, was it drawing or losing away? I can't remember. Like, there's just so many little things that he's done that he's not helped. Played Palmer as an 8 against United. Like this, playing Palmer as a full striker. Like there's just little things. Like, this is what I'm saying. You can't ignore them. They're things we can't ignore. But I don't want to get into the whole Poch assessment, because we are going to do an end of season review show, and it's going to involve evaluating the manager in the season, where we stand, how we've done, the players. We're going to do all that. But we're getting tied into talking about Pochettino again. I really enjoyed my first 50 games at Chelsea. We are much better now. The coaching staff I really enjoyed when you win. And look, does he need time? Is this thing of, should we give time to coaches a thing? Yeah, it is a thing. It's a thing that we should be doing. However, I think there's a fine line to where we go this season. And when you look at where we was struggling to get above 10th at one point, and we were just rock bottom. And we was only like 4 or 5 points off the bottom or something stupid. Like, they were the worrying factors. And listen, you're right. Lots of injuries, this, that, and the other, and him needing time and not having the players and whatever. But these are all things that, when you're a big club like us, and it's probably one of the issues moving forward, that you look at and you go, we can't accept. We can't accept being there. We have to sack him. It's not going to work. He's not doing anything. He's not changing it. He's not doing. Do you get what I mean? So, yeah, no, it's a natural reaction from fans for sure. But listen, should fans not have felt the way they felt about Pochettino in the past from what we've seen of him? Hell no. They should have been allowed to. They should have been allowed to. There was nothing wrong with feeling or criticizing him for how he has been as a coach at this football club. He deserves his criticism. But does he also deserve his applaudance, but deserve praise for when we are performing well, before sticking to systems, for doing the things that he's doing now, partially. But at the same time, why is he not, the Cucurella inverted thing? Why has he not thought about that earlier? Why has he not thought about sticking to systems earlier? Like, yeah, we can praise it because it's now slightly working. The issue was back then, people were saying that the players are shit and it's not the coach. But all of a sudden, he sticks to systems, makes a little tweak to the system here and there, and the players are more consistent. So this is what I'm saying. It goes both ways, The players that arrive from injury need time. We need to start the game with players that can cope with that 90 minutes. We have the names now, but they're not 100% to play for, and that's fair enough. And I don't expect it, especially for the last 2 games, for that to be the case. He says that De Zerbi is a fantastic coach. Don't know why they're asking him about De Zerbi. Obviously, other than what we're playing him tomorrow, he's not exactly going to say shit, is it? Yeah, he's crap. Worst coach I've ever seen in England. It's like, why are you asking? What do you think about De Zerbi? It's just weird. The problem in England, after 10 games at the top, what happens after? We are punished because of the first 10 games. If you count after, we are in the top 4. Yeah. But guess what, Pochettino? We drew against Sheffield United. We drew against Burnley. We drew like the games we should have been drawing. The 1-0 at Man City, the 1-0 at Man City when we was winning. The early decision to do substitutions, the defensive substitutions early, and remove the attackers who were actually doing quite well in that game. Well too early. Ended up drawing the game. These are all little things. These are all little things that have affected where we are now, Next season, I don't want to talk about injuries. Always press conference going to that. From now, I will stop talking about a young squad and injuries. I wish to show our real quality with everyone fit. And listen, I think there is real top quality. If we can manage to keep 90% of this team fit, maybe have 2 or 3 people on the injury list, there's a serious team there. And yeah, maybe he does deserve time to utilize that and use it. You know what I mean? And add to it. But he also still needs to get the best out of what he's got. It's a question for them, the fans. This is the question about us. I saw this about fat Chelsea fans not liking him or whatever, we need the fans to be together and create a good energy. I don't need to tell the fans to love me if they don't feel. I care about the fans and I care about the owners and I care about the club and the people. It needs to be an honest relationship. Fez. Why did I just see Kepa's name pop up? Oh, no. We're coming to that in a second. I just saw Kepa's name pop up. I think the fans are seeing what we're doing, but it's difficult. We are doing a fantastic job. When the situation starts really bad, to keep calm, to keep pushing and working and believing. I am excited for the future. He seems excited for the future at the club. He's trained he's talking about Reece James here. He's trained very well. Now we need to control the game time because we want to finish the season very strong. I hope tomorrow he will have the possibility to play a little bit more than he did against Forest. Again, James ain't starting. That's what's going on there. Mauricio Pochettino very enthusiastically to this statistic being read out. What's the statistic that was read out? Since Boxing Day, only 3 teams have picked up more points than Chelsea, 35 in the Premier League. Man City, Arsenal, and Liverpool. And he claps. My man sitting there clapping. And then I just saw this. No. I don't want this guy anywhere near my club, man. No. That Burnley game was horrible. I agree with this, though, by the way, as well. No, guys. He did mention that this is the process. Fez, let's see. No, that was a tweak to the system. That was a minor tweak to a position of a player by inverting them in the middle and actually giving us more dominance in the midfield. So, this is what we've been asking him to do. Rather than playing Caicedo, Enzo, and whoever 50 yards, 100 yards away from each other all the time, maybe Caicedo needs a little bit of help. Maybe we need to play a little bit deeper in our progression. And if we're going to transition quicker up the pitch, having 2 in the middle to then be able to counter without the others up further forward having to drop deep actually work better for us. Don't worry about Kepa. Yeah, I do worry about Kepa. Who's gonna take over his contract? Who's gonna take over his 160k wages? Who's gonna do that? Someone tell me. Someone tell me who's gonna do that. Guys, we've got over 120 people in here. Big up, smash the likes, guys. 25 minutes in, get the likes up. Keep getting the likes up, guys, if we can. Kepa is a. We need the Saudis to take that cash. Yeah, we do. Take him away. He does. He's third choice behind Sanchez as well. He's gone. I am stressed. Are you sure? What makes you think Pochettino won't assess him when he comes back? What makes you think he won't assess him? No, it's not interesting. Sell him. There's nothing interesting about this comment. There's nothing interesting about this comment. Right, I want to move away from he's behind Bettinelli. He's better than Sanchez. Is Kepa better than Sanchez? Guys, I want to know in the chat quickly before we go on to the next thing. Is Kepa a better goalkeeper than Robert Sanchez? Yes or no? In the chat. Poch already assessed him, remember, and decided to loan him out. True. True. Sanchez is horrible, is what Reece James, Kepa Kingdom saying. Chelsea says no. No to what? Kepa's not better than Sanchez. Joey says yes, he is better than Sanchez. The same, but Kepa is smaller. Chelsea are the same. In fact, that's a Real Madrid. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. I don't think they're about. I think they're about. People saying they're about the same. Fez. They're on par, but Sanchez is taller. He gets the nod. That being said, both suck. I think I agree. I agree with Josh. Both shy. Yeah. I feel that. I hear that, and I feel that, guys. Right, we're going to talk about the sporting directors. We've got a little article to go through, if it lets me go through it, obviously. So Matt Law came out yesterday saying that Chelsea deny a claim that the club are working on a deal to effectively sell their Cobham training base back to themselves. Matt Law. I mean, I don't take much from him, to be quite honest with you, but still. Matt Law's commented saying that. So apparently Chelsea aren't selling their Cobham training ground to themselves, which was another loophole brought out yesterday. And rivals again trying to make it look like it was effectively a bad situation for Chelsea, because they were saying, why are Chelsea selling all of their assets, all of their actual revenue assets to, away? Yeah, but they're selling them to themselves. I also had some rivals compare it to Barcelona, because Barcelona sold a lot of their own, own assets. But guess what? Barcelona sold them to external sources. Chelsea are selling them to themselves. Two different things there. Two big different things, in my opinion. What's to say that they can't then just reverse it back again later once they get themselves into a position again? Like, this is why they're doing it as well. If the Premier League are allowing it, which they are, because no owner across the Premier League put a block to it. No owner across the Premier League put a block to the idea of assets, clubs being able to sell their assets to effectively affect the PSR rules and put us in a positive state. Then what's the issue? Like, do you know what I mean? Generally, what is the issue? What is it? If Matt Law has shown anything, it's that he knows nothing about anything. That's true. Do you know what I mean? And this is where we're going to revert to next. I'm pretty sure we can read this. We can. This is where we're going to revert to next. We're going to revert into this. Guys, over 130 people in the building. We're going to talk about the sporting directors. So we've gone from talking about Cobham supposedly not being sold. So we'll see about that one. Or being sold to Chelsea. Chelsea sporting directors are safe in the end of the season review and will lead summer spending again. Now, the biggest criticism of a lot of what we've done this season goes against the recruitment board and the amount of youthful players that have been assigned. We all agreed, or most of us agreed, that both of these, Winstanley and Lawrence, are two individuals that we think should be put out the door. Not good enough. Not bringing on the best of recruitment, not this, that, and the other. But at the same time, should they be given a chance in the fact that we switch, and from what we're hearing silently, switch our overall targets process, i.e. signing players under the age of 25. If they now go out in the window and we start signing some proven players, which I think we will. I also still think we will sign some young players in this summer window. They will be heavy, and if they are to stay, which they are anyway, they are going to be heavily assessed on this summer period. Not only on the sales being brought in, but also the sales going out. The sales going out the door. And there's going to be a lot of that. And it's going to be about how, who, what can we get for the players that we sell. Now, we've done quite well with Havertz. We've done quite well with Mount. We've done quite well with these type of players in terms of value of sale. But it's going to be very important for them to find the right identity, the right profiles, the right players for the manager. If Pochettino's still here, identifying it, going for it, getting it right. Man City are very good at doing it themselves. If they identify something that is agreed across the board that they want, they go and get it done. I don't want us to sit there and go, we've got 8 targets, 5 of them are youth, and the other 3 are a little bit experienced. Oh yeah, let's just go for the youth. They're cheaper. We can put them on a 5-year contract. Like, the whole mentality has to change for me, because we do need to get, especially with a lot of our experience leaving, we do need to, Jim, we have a budget manager. We don't overpay the market value. Well, you did with Grealish. You broke the record, mate. You broke the record. And you did it with Haaland, for example, where you waited and you got it done very quickly, you know. So Chelsea sporting directors Winstanley and Lawrence Stewart are not facing doubts of their positions. Okay. While the future of the head coach will ultimately be decided when the season is fully assessed in the days after the final game after Bournemouth, Winstanley and Stewart are not thought to be in a similar situation. Okay. Is that because they're just following instructions? Probably. So now I want to see what the instructions are for this summer. And the pressure will go on the owners and the board. Because we can't be sitting here signing random 18-year-old players going into next season with the loss of experience that we're going to have in losing Thiago Silva. Probably Raheem Sterling could be on his way out the door. Now, there's a number of players that we're going to be selling. We're going to need to replace them with some experienced players. And they're going to have to identify that and get it right. I'm not saying they have to sign 28-year-olds across the board all summer. They're not going to do that. They are still going to sign a young and unproven, if, for example, Esteval, who's very young, who will join us in 2025, for example. Like, these are all things that will still happen because they're looking for players for the future, but they need to also look at players for the now and the current setup that we have. Current setup where we're at, where we're weakened, where we could improve, where we need to strengthen. I think we need a centre back. I said it for a long time. After all of what we've spent time-wise to try and get, you know, the right defence over the summer seasons that we've spent just wasting time in the defensive position, we still find ourselves in a position where not only are we suffering from injuries, from some specific ones that we've signed, but we're also suffering from the fact of them as individuals clutching and showing that they are here for, no, this is their spot. This is their slot. I'm here. I'm going to put consistent performances. This is me. And that worries me because when Thiago Silva don't play, and I keep saying it, I don't feel comfortable. They play better next to Thiago Silva. So that's another area that we're going to have to look at. That's another area that we've got to look at. Like, people like, and it's an experienced area. We need someone experienced there. I don't want us to be signing random young defenders that haven't got no experience. I want a proper proven centre back with a bit of experience that comes in and just slots in. And then we can work out who plays next to him. I haven't got a thing for Colwill and Fofana or Badiashile, even Disasi. Chalobah looks like he's going because we're going to sell him for profit. We need to. Well, apparently we don't need to no more. So let's see what happens with Chalobah. I still don't think we should sell Chalobah, personally. I think he's the one player that we can utilise in different positions more than the ones that we've actually signed, like Disasi, Badiashile. And then there's others like Fofana, who've only played a quarter of a 2-season period. And we spent nearly 60, 70 mil on these players. So we have some real issues here. We have some real issues here. I couldn't think of anything worse. The pace merchant. No way. Injury prone. So these are all things that we need to prove. And, this talks about left back. Chilwell or Kukurea. One of them's got to go, in my opinion. You need a left back. You need a centre back. You need a striker. We probably need another winger. If Sterling goes. What about the midfield? Do we need an actual DM that's available, or someone that can play in that sitting role to allow Caicedo and Enzo to be more effective? Yeah, we've got Lavia. But what's going to happen with him next season? Like, there's a lot. There's a lot that we need to fucking, and it's really annoying me actually because we waste so many summer transfer windows on signing these players, spending this money, and we're still in the fucking same position. It irritates me because where I'm looking for the improvements is to push us into Champions League, no issues, and then it's about, can we compete with what's above, the Arsenals, the Liverpools, the Man Cities, for that. But we ain't going to do that with what we have at the moment. We need specific, intricate individuals that come in and just mold it. And I don't know who. That's the worst thing. I don't know who. Indeed, we'll talk about Chancellor obviously more as we go on, but the pair are expected to continue to lead Chelsea's transfer business this summer, with the club looking to sign a forward, a left back, and a centre back. Oh, wait a sec. Sorry. A forward, a left back, a centre defender, and the goalkeeping position may also be looked at. I'm going to be quite honest with you. I think we can get away with another season with Petrovic. If it means that if it means we sort out defence, forward line, goalkeeping, defence, forward line, left back, because they're the three major ones. But then it's like, what do we do in the midfield? Because in theory, we shouldn't really have to look at the midfield if Lavia stays fit. No, he ain't. But at the same time, we can get away with Petrovic, I think, in my opinion. The remit of Winstanley and Stewart extends much further than recruitment, with the sources indicating that a lot of their work goes unnoticed outside Stamford Bridge and Chelsea Commons Crane Ground. Well, what is it then? Explain. Come on, Mr. Whoever it is, Matt Law. Winstanley and Stewart have faced criticism at times this season following an overhaul of the squad last summer that saw an average of age player in staff drastically cut. This has been blamed by some people for Chelsea's inconsistency, which Pochettino has suggested that some of the responsibility for difficulties that the club have faced should be shared. But bosses of Winstanley and Stewart delighted with their overall work and believes they will be further helped by additions of Director of Global Recruitment, Sam Jewell, which is another thing. We do have a Director of Global Recruitment coming in. Does this aid Winstanley and Stewart's decision making? Is Sam Jewell the guy to do that? I don't fucking know. In fact, let's have a look at Sam Jewell. Who is this guy? Oh, he's from Brighton. Oh, this guy. Oh, right. Okay. Let's have a look at what they're saying. Chelsea to appoint the guru after impressing at Brighton. Jewell will work under head of recruitment of Winstanley, who Jewell replaced at Brighton. So Jewell and Winstanley are going to work together all of a sudden. Interesting. After he replaced Winstanley. Jewell's enjoyed a swift rise through the ranks at Brighton as he was linked with Man United. Apparently Man United wanted him. Newcastle wanted him as well. He was involved. These are who he was involved in. Heavily involved in the Brighton deals for Alexis McAllister, Moises Caicedo, who have since had sold for significant profit. So he's good at making profiting on players, supposedly. They made £111 million worth of profiting. Sorry, £111 million on Caicedo on profit. He impressed De Zerbi in the transfer market as well. Blah, 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 blah. He worked very well in the transfer market. He's young, but he has a big talent. He's passion. He knows all players in the world like me. Apparently, his IQ is very good. His IQ is very good as well, supposedly. So, or identifying talent. Well, apparently he's identifying of talent. Supposedly he's meant to be very good. He's one up there with De Zerbi, according to De Zerbi. I don't know what Shield's official title is, but whatever it is, he needs to be given a raise. He does. Shields, out of all of them, Shields is probably the one that's actually done the good of this club. Palmer, Lavia, even though we haven't seen the best of Lavia. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Sam? Cole Palmer has been the most obvious story for Winstanley and Stewart, but Chelsea have also delighted with signings like Nicholas Jackson and Gusto. Yeah, look, it's been some very good signings as well. We can't ignore that they've done quite well with a handful of players in the team. Moises Caicedo has performed impressively over recent months. Noni Madueke and Mudryk have managed to hold down regular spots. Yeah, they're getting there. Still up and down, but that's expected. Let's hope that Lavia and Nkunku, whose first seasons were ruined by injury, can make big contributions next term. Yep, I expect so. If they both stay fit. Petrovic is another one that they've done pretty well on, I'll be quite honest here, for 14 million. Bear in mind, we signed Petrovic for 14 million. He proved himself to be a value for money addition after 25 million for Roberts. Now that was a bum. Whoever decided to sign him for that, that's a Winstanley one now. That's definitely Winstanley. That was definitely Winstanley. I'm sorry. Lost his place and so, Winstanley, man. While there is an acceptance that mistakes were made during the first transfer window overseen by the new ownership in summer 2022, there is now a feeling that the work of Winstanley and Stewart since then is starting to bear some fruit. Apparently, he's bearing some fruit now. Winstanley started work in 2022, while Stewart started his job as co-sporting director. Chelsea remain excited by the potential of midfielder Andre Santos, who has spent the second half of his season at Strasbourg, who are also owned by Clear Lake Capital and Todd Bowley. Despite the fact Kai Havertz could win the Premier League title at the end of his first season, Chelsea believe the work of Winstanley and Stewart on selling players has proved to be successful. I'll give them that. I think the sellings of players has been very good, getting rid of the individuals that they have. Yeah, fairs. It remains to be seen whether Chelsea now relax their policy of signing players under the age of 25, or whether Pochettino makes a case for bringing in some more experience when he meets with Winstanley Stewart and the club's ownership next week. So there's going to be a discussion about how to move forward. What policy do they take? The under 25 policy. You know, they're not going to change it, in my opinion, but they're going to have to be intricate with specific areas of the team or areas of where we need to, and they're going to have to bring experience in. It can't just be, under 25, under 25, under 25. 6 spots a day last year, only 3 teams. We know this. We know. The end of season review will focus on performance over the entirety of the campaign, which could lead to some awkward conversations over the first half of the season when Chelsea suffered a number of difficulties. Pochettino has made it clear that his future lies in their hands. Blah, 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 blah. Same crap. But we'll want to be confident in the plans of Winstanley Stewart and the owners. Chelsea have denied a claim in the club are working on a deal to effectively sell their Cobham training base. Blah, 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 blah. There you go. There you go. So that's that. And we'll be covering more of that over the summer window, guys. There's lots more to come over the summer window. I need to get the panel in, actually. What's the time? Yeah, I need to get the panel in. It's hit that 45-minute mark as well, because we're going to start going into the game right now, guys. Let's put the link in here. Link above. Let's go. So, yeah. Let's do that. Firstly, let's do that. There's over 160 people in the building right now. How are you all doing? We've got over 60 people on Twitter watching right now. How are we doing, Twitter? Good to see you. Hope you are well. 50 people at Chelsea Fan TV. 60 people in GNA TV. How are we doing, guys? How are we all doing? Good to see you all. Great to have you back, Jem, for real. Hey, big up Joey, man. It feels good to be back, man. Nearly 200 people in the building. We're working on building our consistency again and growing this channel. And I think the transfer window is going to help us do that massively. So make sure you guys are around, because we are going to be pumping out constant lives to keep you guys updated throughout this period. Talking about the end of season reviews, we're going to be doing that. Players, managers reviews. We've got the transfer market to cover as well. We've got the preseason area to cover as well. There's a lot to be going on, man. Best Turk player. Why are you talking about Turk players? What the hell? Right, quickly, talking about transfer window. Let's talk about Esteval, because this seems to be heating up right now. Esteval is a young individual that I've not seen a lot of, but I've watched clips of, and I've been doing my little background checks, and I've seen a video where they've compared Payas, who is officially a Chelsea player, to this guy. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, and obviously things can change. They're both still very young. But from watching the comparisons on a broken down area, like they basically breaking down the this kid is class, is what Josh says. Breaking them down in their identities of weaknesses and strengths. I think they both look very, very tasty. However, I think Payas just looks a little bit more special to me. Not going to lie, from what I see. However, you know, there's nothing wrong with signing these players. It's just what we do with them in the future. And like signing him, they're not going to be able to come till 2025, 2026. We're going to spend another 20, 30 plus odd million plus add-ons to get him over here as well. So eventually, these young, talented players, the touted next Messis and whoever that are playing, are playing their football as they are at the moment. Eventually, we're going to have to try and find something for them, and it's fine, fit them into what we're doing. They're going to have to, And the latest news on these type of players is that on Esteval, is that he will leave the Palmers, and Chelsea are close to completing a deal of a generational wonder kid. So this guy's being called generational already. 55.8 million is what we've heard today. I can't show that. I'd love to show that. I don't think I can show that. I get away with showing some of them, but not all of them. What are the faults? Everyone's faults? I don't know. I mean, I'm going to ask Couch, because this is one we can actually watch, to be fair, because there's no logos. So, there is a logo. Peak. It's at the bottom. I thought I could get away with it. Couch. I thought, here we go.
Like, everyone's seen the footage already. Anyone that's a true Chelsea fan would have been watching and at least studying his comps and whatnot. But I don't know. I haven't seen enough in the comps to say one way or the other whether this guy's worth it. Like, he looks really, really raw, really, really young. Yeah. Obviously, his touch is refined for his age, for sure. But there's no way for me to know, based on what I've seen, that he's going to be this wonder kid, like special generational talent that's being touted. Like, I haven't seen it. I watched his game in the Copa, the Copa, whatever. And
Copa America.
Yeah, Copa America. And he looked okay. He did some okay things, but it's not to the level that I was excited for Kendry Payas. Like, Kendry, to me, when I watch him play, you see a special quality there. Like, his touch, his natural feel for the game is off the charts for me. Like, off the charts. And I didn't get that same impression when I watched Willian play. But I mean, I have lots of time for anyone that signs for Chelsea. There's no rush for me. I do look at the money, and I look at the 65 million euros, and I'm like, really? That's how you guys covered this guy? 65 million? That's a little high for me, but I'm willing to give anyone the chance to prove me wrong. It's a lot of money for a kid who hasn't really done much in the game.
I agree. And I've watched both, and I've compared, like I said, I've broken it down. I've gone through both. And look, things can change. They get older, they mature, their games change, slightly, Payas, for me, just looks, I agree with Couch. There's something about Payas. He just looks special. Like, especially on the way he's ranging of shooting ability is crazy. I think both are, to be quite fair, but Payas specifically, his ability to create, his ability to take on players so comfortably, easily. They're both kind of similar, and it's like we're buying two players that formerly playing off the right, if that's correct.
Yeah.
Both. So you've got two young, talented wonder kids supposedly that are going to want to play football, and Chelsea are going to have to fit them into the team at some point, or at least give them the opportunities at some point, or the managers are. So, is it a thing of then converting one into a 10 if they have to both play and they're that good? One as a 10, one as an 8, one as a right winger or whatever. I don't know. This is all for the future. This is future. This is not the now.
Of
This
course.
is
And it's all. I think I operate on the philosophy of like, keep the rest, sell the rest. Keep the best, sell the rest, man. Like, simple. Let them fight it out and see where the cream rises to. And then the ones that don't make it don't mean they're not good enough. It just means that, they need to play at a different level. So I don't think that there's an issue of bringing in like loads of talent. I think where it's going to hurt is the academy, because when you're spending this kind of money to bring in players from, all over the world and whatnot, the academy, like whoever's playing right wing on the academy right now is probably going to be looking at his opportunity to play or even get into the side diminish unless he's razor sharp. I'm talking like you got to be competing at the highest level in order to get into the side right now, because for the most part, the guys like Kendry and the guys like Estevao are going to be given every opportunity to succeed. So that's where you got to be careful. But
let's just go for. Go on.
Yeah, go ahead.
I say this like we're really infatuated with Brazilian players because again, it looks like Chelsea are potentially looking at the new Cafu. Chelsea are ready to submit a 6.2 million bid to acquire 70-year-old right back Pedro Lima, nicknamed the Herdero de Cafu, heir of Cafu, the heir of Cafu from Serie B club Sport. So apparently, we're looking to sign another right back.
I like the look of him. I'm not gonna lie. he looks like a proper Brazilian right there, man. I can't lie.
He's playing in Serie B already. That's Italian league football, isn't it? So
yeah,
he's over there doing his thing. But that's just come out just now as well. There was something else just come out from Pies. Was it Pies? No, I don't want to say we're in that's just something else. But yeah, no, look, listen, it's going to be interesting. We're going to be doing a lot more transfer discussions, talks, etc. Just reverting back to the earlier on Pochettino's comments and also the injuries couch. There was a period through the season where Pochettino came out and confirmed that no players in the team are playing under any excruciating pain. There was a question by one of the press conferences. They'd asked him the question, and he came out and he confirmed that no one's playing injured, no one's this, that, and the other, blah blah blah. But then we get this comment from Enzo Fernandez, who basically says that he was playing with pain and injections for 8 months, and he had to make the decision to have surgery, which was the best thing. I was harming the team. I didn't want to expose myself. So he's actually admitting that he wasn't helping the team. Like he just wasn't that. And we saw it. I saw it anyway. Sure, we saw it anyway. But effectively, if that's the case, why didn't we do this sooner? I know we needed him, but
it was for the betterment of the team, really. Well, like, how many injuries did we have? If he could take an injection to relieve the pain a bit and then play those games, it's not the best ideal situation. People do it all the time, though. And we just didn't have the bodies. Like, let's just be real. Like, if we would have lost Enzo like 4 months ago, 5 months ago, imagine the state of things right now. Imagine that. And to be honest, he wasn't really performing to his level. Like, he was just basically being a stopgap to help us get through games, but ultimately, I understand.
Because I'm sure Mourinho or someone would have just come out and just said, yeah, well, Enzo's got an injury. He's taking injections. He's playing. He's confirmed that he's happy to play. Like I would, if I was man, why would you say no one's playing with any injuries or pain? Like, I just find it a bit weird. That's what I'm saying. Like, why not just say it? I'd be like, yeah, he is, but we ain't got no choice. And he's
you also put him in a position to get further injuries, because like if you allude to the fact that players are injured, it makes them a target, right? So
true. That's the other thing as well, I guess. Yeah, I get that. I do get that. That's a good point. That's a good point. All right, if you sit there saying he's injured and he's playing with injections in his blooming leg, they're going to target him, aren't they, even more? So I get that. I do get that. We'll come back.
Yeah, it's really just needs must. Like we needed him in that situation, right? We just didn't have the bodies. We still don't really have the bodies when you think about it. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I guess Leslie's back now. The
Well,
lab
you
injury
saw
is so, man, it's killing me. You know how I feel about him, but like he's really like that injury in particular is really, really stunted the natural growth of this team. Just because I feel like if he would have been available for even 60-70% of those games, I think we would have seen a completely different Chelsea side in terms of like the liberation of the midfielders
Oh,
and
100%.
the ability to retain the ball correctly, and not have to rely on a certain player who who I won't name right now to make the midfield look a little bit more solid.
He's a top player, and do you know what? If he didn't have that injury, I don't think Enzo would have been as mediocre as he's been this season. Personally, like just when you look at last season to this season, you just see something wasn't right because he was just unbelievable, wasn't he? Really, truly, like he was just so good for us in that half of the season. It just goes to show. But next season's going to be interesting. A fit Enzo, a fit Nkunku, hopefully a fit Lavia, a fit. These are all key players. But the area that we spoke about, Couch, mainly that's a big problem going into the summer window is the centre back area, isn't it? And obviously Wesley Fofana's still out, as we can see there. Chalobah looks like he could be sold. Badiashile and Disasi, the only two there with maybe Colwell. I think Colwell's back in the team now as well, which is a plus, I guess. But no one's really tying down that position, isn't they? Really?
Well, it depends on what the position you're talking about. Like when I look at center backs, especially center back pairings, I'm looking at a guy to be the sheriff, the general, the quarterback, guy that can be like the defensive leader back there. And in all of those players, everyone that you mentioned right now, I don't see one that possesses the skill level or the sort of like the mentality of a sheriff or a bossy center back. I guess Disasi probably comes the closest, but man, I can't depend on that guy. I can't depend on that guy to get us through games and whatnot. So yeah, you're right. I'm in the same boat. I feel like we need to go back into the window and get another center back that fits the profile, somebody that can be like a commanding presence back there, a real commanding presence back there. Because right now, it just looks like we have a bunch of like deputies and no real sheriffs, like a bunch of guys that if you put them next to the guy, they'll be fine. Like Badiashile will be fine if you put him next to a real boss. Disasi will be fine. Cole will be fine. All those guys will be fine. And in the opinion that I have of Chalobah, yes, he makes mistakes from time to time. I think that he's a great guy to have in the squad. A great guy to have in the squad. Mainly because he can fill in a few roles. He doesn't complain about minutes. He gets injured, yeah, sure, but when he gets back, he doesn't need a lot of minutes to find his best form again. So that is exactly what you want in a squad player, a guy that can just come in, fill holes where you need them and not complain. And if he wants to continue in that role, I'm assuming at some point he's going to want to be challenging for a starting position and he wants to, just get on with his football. So if it's a case where he wants to get on with his football, then maybe we have to sell him. But if he's comfortable with just being that sort of like squad guy in this Chelsea side that can, just come in when we need him, then he's a perfect fit as far as I'm concerned. Perfect fit.
100%. Going into tomorrow's game, Chelsea find themselves seventh. Newcastle are without Isak and Callum Wilson apparently for the Man United game. That's what I've read anyway. We'll see if that changes tomorrow. So that could be a big issue into it. 2 games left. Goal difference is obviously on Newcastle's side. We need them to draw or lose at least one game of the 2. They've got Man United and they've got Tottenham, I think, isn't it? There's their last 2 games. I think. I need to check that, actually. What's their last couple of games? Let's have a quick look. They've got Man United and Brentford. What's the Tottenham game about?
That's the friendly, I think. They have a friendly or something like that.
Would you have a friendly after that? That's weird, isn't it?
It's similar to what we did a few years ago where Ruben Loftus-Cheek got injured. Friendly in the middle of the season. It's like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, Couch, are you confident in Chelsea winning the next 2 games and potentially getting Europa League, or do you think
Confident?
Newcastle? Yeah.
You using the word confident with this squad? No, I'm not confident, but I'm optimistic. I feel like, we've been playing well enough to see through these games, and we've actually played Brighton quite well this season, quite well. So yeah, there's a air of optimism, but you just never know with this Chelsea side. Anytime, at any given moment, when you feel like we've turned a corner, is when they hit you in the face with like, oh, here's another stinker. And that to me is just the indicative of just being a young team, a team that's still trying to figure it out. If we get through these games and we finish, sixth, fifth possibility, I really feel like that's going to be the kickstart to a good campaign 2024, 2025. Because you're playing in pressure pack matches, games that you have to win in order to see yourselves get into Europe. And you're starting to show that you have the mettle, the composure, the sort of like character, the character that takes to win these types of games. And
Yeah.
if you can use that in these last 2 games to take you into next season, then I feel like we're going to be in a better position. But again, like, there's no way to predict what Chelsea team is going to show up from week to week. It's just no way to do that. Granted, I am a little bit more confident just with the style of play that we've been employing last games, and the fact that the bench is looking a lot more beefier than it has in quite some time. Like, we have people that can come in to change the game. So even as teams are working hard to press us, they're working hard to keep us out, they're playing with defending in numbers, all that stuff makes it very difficult. And first of all, that's difficult work, but all that stuff becomes very difficult to approach when you don't have a bench to come in and change the energy of the game. Because even when you saw the Nottingham Forest game, like, they were working extremely hard to keep us out, extremely hard, defending in numbers, taking away the spaces. But that whole process is very tiresome. And when you don't have players to come in that can impact that energy and inject that sort of like life into the game, it's very hard to see through those matches. So yeah, like, the benches, it gives me hope, and just the overall mentality of the squad.
I agree. And you know what? Talking about our recent form against Brighton, well, it's not too bad. I'm not going to lie. In 15 matches, we've won 60% of them. They've only won 2. We've won 9. We've drawn 4. It's a ground that we've historically done okay on. 80% of the matches, there's been over 1.5 goals. 53% of the matches is over 2.5 goals, which is 8 out of the matches out of 15. So you're looking at nearly 3 goals per game, and then 8 matches in between Brighton and Chelsea. And then it goes up higher than that. And then both teams have scored in 9 out of 15 of the matches that we've played as well. Did someone just come in? No, I thought someone else was coming in. 7% clean sheets as well for Brighton. As for Chelsea, we've got a 40% clean sheet record in the games that we've played out of 5. So just under half of our games, total 15 games, have been clean sheets against Brighton as well. When you look at the previous games, Chelsea won 3-2 at Brighton. That's the home one, so we ignored the home ones. And then in 2022, they beat us 4-1 in October 29th.
I remember that well. That was a battering, man.
That was a battering. And then we drew in January 18, 2022. So we both won 1 and drew 1. And then we played them again in 2020, where we beat them 3-1. And then on after that, it's, more home games and whatever. So, there's the records show that, our recent form is pretty good. And I think it's more down to the way that Brighton play, because I think they play very expansive and they play very open. And I think they like to try and force the initiative. They will press, they'll work hard to try and win the ball quickly. And that will ultimately play into the hands of Chelsea, especially if Pochettino sticks to the same systems that he has been currently using in the last couple of games. And we're going to go into that FIFA formation now and talk about lineup for the game tomorrow. Guys, keep smashing the likes. We've got 250 people in the building right now. Good to see you all. Nearly 100 people on Twitter watching us right now. Come and say hello, guys, over at YouTube as well. And yeah, let's keep smashing the likes if you can. Couch,
Yo.
When we going into tomorrow's game, do you feel Pochettino? Obviously, we've got players available in Kunku, James is back, Gusto, etc. Do you feel that it's going to be more of the same of what we've seen in the last 2 to 3 games with the 4-2-3-1 in terms of formation? I don't think we're going to change that, are we? Surely.
Oh, if it ain't broken, it don't fix it. And then, to be honest, the only thing that I feel like I've always been an advocate of this. I like seeing people come into the game in a regular, like given regular time to adapt to the game and whatnot. So if you've been coming off the bench the last little while, then you should stay with that. You know, there's no reason to like shake that up right now. Give them the same sort of like run out that they've been having consistently. They know when they're coming into the game. They know what they need to do when they come into the game, rather than, you know, give them change up the lineup completely and then, you know, give guys put unfamiliar lineups together. This is the problem that we've had with Pochettino, whether it be through injury or just decisions. He often changes what was working, or he often, you know, puts together these unfamiliar lineups that have no understanding and synergy. And that to me is one of the things that you have to have on a football pitch. You have to know where your players are. You have to know what the tendencies are of the players on the pitch. And, you know, for large chunks of the season, we've just seen an unfamiliar lineup, guys that don't feel comfortable with each other on the pitch. And it just shows in the performances. What are you doing, Petro, there, man? What happened to Kepa? Put Kepa in, man.
Listen, he's returning. I don't know what we're going to do with him, but he definitely needs to be sold. That's for sure. Tonight we are going to win the league. Yeah, whatever.
That's a good question, though. So, how do you feel about this, Jim? Would you take Tottenham losing? Actually, I guess it's always Tottenham losing, because there's no. I was just thinking about, because like if Tottenham lose, there's an opportunity for us to steal in and get 5th.
I don't think there is.
But if Tottenham win, they stop. Well, I guess they stop.
We just need Tottenham to lose. That's it.
No, I don't know why I had it in my head that like it was 2 scenarios that were playing out there. But no, there's only one scenario: Tottenham lose.
Well, Man City have got a very poor record over there. They've only scored 1 goal back in 2001. Score 1 goal away, which was in 2019 or 20. I think it was Sterling when Sterling was there. Can't remember who scored it. I saw it earlier on, but we have to see a Man City win. If Man City draw or lose tonight, they're going to be on the same. They're going to be in the same goal difference, and Arsenal could win it on goal difference, which is crazy when you think about it.
Well, even beyond that, they'll be up a point too, right?
Huh?
If they'll be up a point. Right now, they're up a point, right?
They're up a point. So if they draw,
even if they win. Yeah, if they draw, different. But if they win,
you see what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So if they win, who are you talking about? If Man City win, they go 2 points.
Tottenham wins. They
win, they're 1 point behind. Yeah.
No, 1 point behind. Yeah.
And if they draw, they're on the same points as Arsenal.
Right.
Arsenal will be top.
Right.
But it will be on goal difference. So I don't know how that works. Have we ever had the league where teams have won on goal difference? Nah, surely not.
No, definitely not. But it's a possibility.
Anyway, moving away from them, let's just hope Man City do the job.
I could have swore I saw him with a Siggy.
I don't know what happened to him. His Wi-Fi is not even connected. Right, let's talk about it. Cucurella been performing very well, right, Couch?
I didn't love him the last game, to be honest. I didn't love him. Thought he gave away the ball quite a bit. And you know, we were snuffed out in that whole inverted role. Like he really has to be able to just hold down that left back position now, you know, and be solid there. You know, that's what we need from him these last 2 matches. But yeah, he's an automatic start. That goes without saying. I think that his role on that left flank has to be to make sure. AJ, you mute me or something? I'm hearing like.
I don't know if AJ's here or not. He's there.
He's there somewhere.
I'm here. I'm on mute.
He's talking. AJ, it's not. There we go.
Okay, he's gone again. All right. No, I was just saying that like his role has to be to make sure that anything that's coming down our right, he's snuffing out, because he's not going to get a lot of help from whoever our left winger is, whether it be Mudryk or, you know, Sterling, whoever it may be, he's not getting a whole lot of help. So his number one priority is to snuff out all the attacking moves. Any danger that we're seeing coming down are their right, our left. That's all he needs to do.
I think he has to play. I think he's been playing well in recent. I think I agree with you. The first half of the last game, I think he was very involved. Like he just wasn't involved, and I think that was just more down to the way Nottingham Forest set up as well. They made it very hard for us to play in the way that we have played in recent games with the back five and the two pivots sitting in between. There was no space, and we couldn't really, even though we were winning the balls, like trying to win the balls here, it was just trying to move forward. It wasn't as effective as it has been in past games. But I actually think the second half, him just playing in his natural left back position, he was okay, to be quite honest with you. I don't think he was amazing, but he just done the job. But yeah. See, Josh asked a good question about the defence because Colwell's back now as well.
No, he doesn't get back in there. No. You don't change what's working. Like that just goes without saying. Like center back in particular, you need like consistency and understanding. Two guys that are very familiar with each other, that have played a lot together, that understand what the role is. I can't take this. Well, right now it's Thiago Silva and what is it? Badia Shield, was it the last couple of games? Or
Chalaba.
Or Chalaba? Sure. That's the move then.
Okay. Okay. Where is Thiago Silva? I can't even find him. Come on, Silva, where are you, mate?
Am I still echoing?
No, you're all right now.
All right, cool.
Where am I? What is going on here?
What is going on? Is he already retired or something?
There he is. That's not him up top?
I don't know what's going on. It's just gone so slow right now. I can't do anything. Like it's just gone like very slow. It's just
get off the McDonald's wife's Wi-Fi, man. Let's go.
The Nando's.
Is that Eric? Yes, Eric. What's going on, Eric? Long time, King.
Jesus. What is going on here? Let me try and work it out without the sharing. Anyway, while you're here, AJ, do you agree? Do you think it needs to be a Chalobah, Thiago Silva pairing?
I mean, right now, I think that's our best and most consistent pairing, just based off the last 2 months, maybe. So why not stick with that?
I agree. I think I've got it back now. It's very slow though. I don't know what's going on with it. It's usually not this slow.
It might be the site.
It might be Burger King. Burger King. Sometimes there's too many people at the Burger King.
Look at I read Petrovic ages ago. It's taken ages to find him. Come on, son. Come on. Jesus. Sorry, guys. We would like to show you our formation, but there it is. Look, Jesus. So, I mean, Badia Shield didn't have a good game last game. Can we agree? Or he just didn't he got taken off for goodness sake.
Yeah, it wasn't great, but I don't think that he wasn't really terrible. I just don't think he didn't shine, is what I'm saying. He didn't shine. I think we took him off mainly because we needed to change the setup, right?
Yeah.
We need to change what we're doing.
Okay, so Chalobah and Silva. Now, what are we doing about right back? Because we do have Gusto back. We do have Reece James back. What are we saying?
Fuck, that's a tough one, eh?
That is a tough one.
For once, we can say, fuck, it's a tough one. For once.
I mean, if the captain's ready to go, you can't keep the captain off the pitch. So that to me means he's playing. Or you look at it from, is our last game at home as well?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe you go with what's working so far in this match, and then you give Reece James the start at home. That's a possibility because you don't want to overtax him, obviously, Wednesday, Saturday. So if you're looking at which game you kind of want to see him start in, you're probably thinking that the home game, chance to see the fans, would be a good position for that. But I don't know.
FIFA squad builder, it's called.
I'd go Gusto. I don't want to risk Reece James.
I don't think he's going to start James because he said that some of the players that have returned, but Gusto's just returned as well, are not fit to start games still.
Right.
So
True.
For him to say that tells me
Alfie.
Alfie.
baby. Alfie,
Hey, look,
baby.
listen. It could be Chalobah right back and Badiashile and Thiago Silva.
I mean, it's worked enough the last little while that we could see that for sure.
I think Gusto will play though. I've got a feeling he's going to start this
It
one.
depends on what they're going to do. Like if they're going to invert Cucurella, then yeah, it's probably going to be the 3 center backs in that back line there. But it's hard to say what he's going to do at this point in time.
Got numbers now, haven't we? Let's stick to this for now. The 2 in the middle is the only 2 we've got, right? Caicedo against his other team.
Go with what we want to see rather than what he's going to do for this one.
Who we want to see? Okay, go on. Who do you want to see? Is that what you want to see?
Yeah, let's do that because I think it's easier. So yeah, Caicedo. Right.
And then is the back 4 okay for you guys?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah.
And let's talk about Galadog, Couch's favorite player.
Baby.
What are we saying about Gallagher?
He's done well, man. I think he's convinced a lot of people that he deserves a spot in the squad. I'm still not sure about the starting, but he definitely deserves a spot.
That's right, man.
He shouldn't be starting every game.
So many haters, man. Proper Chelsea, man. So many haters out there. Proper Chelsea, man.
On a serious level, though.
Come on now. Gal talk, man.
Listen, I watched the second half of that Nottingham Forest game, and there was no difference to the midfield and what I've seen for most of the season. That tactic was go back to how we've played for most of the season. Gallagher about 50 yards, 100 yards away from Caicedo again. And Caicedo on his own in the middle, running left and right like a nusser, trying to cut out Hudson-Odoi or cover the spaces when we're going forward. And there was just no midfield again. So
we were looking to be really aggressive. We're trying to put pressure on them, score goals, right? Like they were so compact and whatnot. And the only time they actually even really got out was when off of set pieces, like when we didn't have the assignments right off of like corners and whatnot. They broke on those, right? But ultimately, we were trying to put as much pressure on them in the final third because we didn't have we're looking to win the game, and it worked in the end. But yeah, there wasn't really a whole lot of defensive structure on display. But at the same time, what are you going to do in those situations? Like you have to go for the win.
True. Cold Palmer, the young player of the year, got to be right. Got to be for the Premier League.
I don't even who rivals him. Like I don't even know who's going to rival him.
Nobody at this point.
I can't think of anyone that is even in the conversation right now. Like really?
No.
He's a walk-away winner. You could probably even make the shout that he could get player of the season flat out. I know he's not going to get it just because based on a league position and whatnot, but you can make the argument that he's done enough to at least be in the conversation.
Yeah,
seriously.
I agree.
It'll probably go to Foden, won't it? Most probably. If they win the league and Foden is there, then I think it's going to be Foden, personally, in my opinion. But
for player of the year?
Yeah.
Really? Wow. I would have said, I don't know. I would not have gone there, but yeah.
I think there's a good chance he might get player of the year this season. If Man City win the league as well, I think there's a good chance.
I think Rodri has had more of a role in their wins.
He's not in it though, is he? He's not in the selection.
Oh, he's not, eh? Wow.
No.
So who got in the selection?
Rice, Van Dijk. I don't know why Van Dijk's in there. Van Dijk, Rice, Foden, Saka,
Palmer.
Some other Palmer. Some others.
Yeah.
I can't remember the others.
Was it Haaland?
I think it was Haaland in it. I can't remember.
I think Haaland as well.
If Haaland's in there, Haaland gets it, I think.
Just because of the goals.
Yeah, VVD's in it. I don't know why VVD's in it. Why is he even in it?
Rodri not even nominated. Who makes?
I think Rodri's player of the season, personally.
Without question. Without question. Especially if they win it. But yeah. Yeah.
What are we doing about the wings? You've got Sterling, you've got Nkunku back. Mudryk's been playing. Madueke's been playing.
Mudryk scored, but he hasn't really been effective the last little while, has he? Like he scored.
Let's start with the left. Then. Go on, start with the left.
I think the wings are hard today, tough today.
I haven't liked Madueke. I haven't liked Mudryk the last couple games. You can't I'm all about just trying to keep things balanced. Sterling hasn't played a lot, although he did score when he came on. But to start him and give him, 60, 70 minutes when you haven't seen him play in quite some time, it's tough.
Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough one.
I think he's going to play Sterling. I don't know why.
The
Really?
goal, he could reward that goal, It was an
I think
important
he's going
goal.
to play Sterling, and I think Mudryk's going to be on the bench this time. And I don't think Nkunku's going to start. I don't think they're going to risk it.
Nah,
One bit.
please don't.
And I think Madueke's going to start again.
He has to redeem himself.
Even though I think he was the worst of the wingers against Forest. I thought Mudryk was better than him, in my opinion.
Well, he scored, of course, but
it was just more effective. He wasn't effective all game, but he still had moments where he just looked more effective, if that makes sense. Like he was using him more. As Madueke, they done one thing that really pissed me off in that game. I know the way he does it. We clear the ball from a corner. It lands to him. Mudryk sprints past him. Yeah, we're on the break. He turns around with the ball and goes backwards.
A lot of guys do that in this side. A lot of guys.
What are you doing? Like, you weren't like I just don't get it.
And he played a silly pass into the middle of the field or something like that.
I screamed at the TV.
I haven't heard from you in a while, Jim. I haven't heard from you in a while. What's your take on Nico now, man?
Jim loves Nico.
That is a solid season in terms of like goal scoring, man. Solid.
Jim loves Nico.
Not about it. Pretty much what I predicted, to be honest.
Everything that I've said he is. Nico, for me, has done everything that I've said he's done all season, mostly. I think he's came back and he's improved since he's come back from AFCON. His games slightly improved in games from then to now. I think he's very effective in every way, deeper, receiving the ball, moving forward, carrying, helping the team progress, fast transitions, all that. I think he's a handful for any defender because he's strong, he's quick, doesn't matter how you give him for him. I just think he's shit in front of goal still. Like, and even though he scored 13 goals, is it? I think in the Premier League.
I think he's on 15 now, 14,
right? 14 in the Prem. 17
but he should
goals.
be on nearly 30 because the amount of chances he's missed this season. He could have been top goal scorer.
Yeah, you can say that about any real striker though. Like they always miss chances.
Not really.
Haaland misses chances. Of course he does.
He doesn't miss that half of the chances that Jackson did. Even Nkunku does.
All strikers miss chances, okay? I'm just
Not
saying.
like that.
For his first season, 21, 22-year-old, 17 goals in the Prem, you cannot knock that. You cannot knock that. That is a solid return.
And that's based on a player
out number 9 either. He's not even really
that's based on a player that's played every single game this season, pretty much, barring when he went AFCON. He's not even been rested.
He's done better than our strikers of the last
100%. Bro. He's a great signing for us. I like Jackson. I just think he has to play in more of an inverted, deeper role in the future.
I want to see him off the left with a real striker up there. I want to see.
I think he could be a good left winger. I'm not joking. I think an inverted left forward, he could be very good. We could, at least when Petrovic kicks the ball, at least he can kick it to a target off the left.
He's really good in that left channel.
The target, to be honest. I mean, despite scoring with his head the last game, which I mean, anyone, my son would have scored that. He's still not very good in the air. Like, let's be real.
No, but he's good at holding the ball when it comes to him, though. That's what I'm saying. Like, he doesn't just lose it as quick as like Lukaku, for example. He's got a touch like a blooming. Do you know what I mean?
He could work on his finishing and he could work on his aerial ability. I think that's easier to work on compared to holding up the ball, carrying the ball, and he needs to work on his timing of passes. That's my thing with him. He holds on to the ball way too long.
Yeah, I agree. He carries way too long. And he switches off. He switches off well too much. That first goal of Nottingham Forest was on him. He just stopped. Didn't even move. Just left his man.
I wonder if that was just a setup, though. Like, if he was supposed to be holding off there. I don't think that we're man marking there. It looked like he had his zonal responsibility. Because you don't just stop there. Like, nobody just stops there. Like, I don't think that anyone in their right mind, if they have the assignment to take somebody, is just going to stop there and be like, oh, what's going on now?
I hate the way
he did.
Yeah, but
I hate the way we defend those free kicks.
That was his responsibility.
Listen, if you're in a row and you've got an opposition player in between you all the way to the back, and you're all facing that way, you're meant to be marking the one behind you. So the guy that's coming behind you, that's your man. Because
I don't necessarily.
after that man was
that's
Chalobah,
true.
and Chalobah had to mark man at the end.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, and I saw it too, and I was thinking about it that way as well. But the assignment could have been for him to be playing in the middle, like to play, like not go as deep as the final six, and to stay high for if it gets knocked back, who's there to defend it then? You know what I mean? So
yeah, I agree. I think the setup of that, if you watch the setup of that free kick, was completely a shambles. You had Thiago Silva and Madueke, the first two marking no one, waiting for balls to come into the front. Thiago Silva should have been in Jackson's position. Yeah, Thiago Silva should have been in Jackson's position. Chalobah and then was it Badiashile? Badiashile was in front of him, and Chalobah was at the back behind Jackson, so he was the last man behind the back. Right. Yeah. But Thiago Silva and Madueke in the row were the first two, not marking no one, waiting. And I don't understand why. And I'm like, you got Thiago Silva's one of your main centre backs in the air. Like, why is he not marking? They're one of their top
but you want him to be free to just win the ball though. Like he's got to go and attack the ball. Like the best aerial players that you have in your team are the ones that you want free to attack the ball. You don't want them to be blocked off if they're man marked and whatnot. If they're man marking guys, what you want them to do is be free to attack the ball. And I feel like that's what they're trying to do there. But again, it's just, the details always let us down. Like small.
He could do this. He could do this. This could happen. This could happen if he wanted to be brave.
I don't think he starts in Nkunku, but I would love to see that. I would love to see that.
I would love to see that. This is the team. This is what the team should be for me personally. Like on an ideal outset, I'm going to ask you this once this loads. What is with all the players that we've got, what is your actual 11?
Oh, that's so hard to determine based on the fact that I just don't know. Because again, like how I like Lavia, and I think that Lavia makes like in my head will make Enzo and Caicedo work better. In my head, I haven't seen it yet. So there's nothing to go on.
Yeah, of course he will.
Right, but at the same time, even if we play Lavia in a midfield three, do we get enough goals from Enzo and Caicedo to warrant not playing with a number 10?
No, but what I would say about Enzo and Caicedo being in them positions, and you saw it against Nottingham Forest, we already Enzo can create further up. Caicedo's creating ability is actually pretty impressive. So you got two midfielders in a further forward position, being able to link up play and play these amazing balls over the top behind. Do you know what I mean? And allow these forwards to just break into spaces. And if you've got two of them doing it in an 8 position, I think it can be very effective. I'm not going to lie. That's without Caicedo off the ball with his aggression and winning the ball backs and chasing people down and stuff like that. I think it's pretty impressive.
And I believe Caicedo can score as well. He's crashing the box. I believe he's a good option to finish chances.
Well, if there's an option, I would say Enzo would probably be the better option in terms of like scoring goals. But I'm just asking the question. I don't know. So then what? Yeah, if you go with a 4-3-3, then you have like Lavia sitting in the middle. You probably want to play one of Jackson or Nkunku off the left. Probably Nkunku off the left, to be honest, and then play Palmer off the right. And that could be a thing. That could be a thing.
The only thing with it is you lose that additional attacker when you're playing against a low block. When you play against a low block, do you need to have Lavia, Caicedo, and Enzo in a low block at home?
No, certainly not.
Hell no.
But then, if you've got 3 up front that are effectively good at scoring goals, Palmer will score goals. He showed it this season, and Nkunku will score goals, and then we have a striker. Maybe you don't need to have that additional attacker. Do you know what I mean? Like the way Liverpool were with Mane, Salah, and Firmino. If you've got 3 players that are effective, like when you look at the way Liverpool played, they always played with 3 midfielders, 2 8s, and 1 sitter, Fabinho, and it was always effective. They stuck to the same 3. And they didn't have to play this 4-2-3 to get an extra player in because they were so confident on the 3 up front to just always continuously spread and score goals for them. It's just effective, like they were that good.
Yeah. The other thing is with the 4-3-3, we'd have more control. So we technically wouldn't we would need maybe less goals to win the game because the other team, by us having more control, would have less opportunity to score.
Good shout.
You know,
Good shout. That's a good shout. Yeah, so that's a possibility. And I would play, if you're going to do that, I would play Nkunku off the left, Jackson through the middle, and Palmer on the right. And then obviously where Sterling is, you'd have Enzo there.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that, and I mean, we might even get a striker. Then what happens is you got Jackson sitting on the bench, and it's like.
You really think that, eh? He's had a really, really good season. Like I can't stress it enough. Like he's met the expectations. I'm not saying that we don't go out and get a striker. I'm just saying that like the very notion that he's now just like a bit part player for us, I don't necessarily agree with that. I think that
I don't think he's a bit part player. I think he'll play a lot of games for us. I just don't think if you've got a fit Nkunku playing, if it's a fit Nkunku, in the fit Palmer, is he going to bench Nkunku? Maybe he does, and then we have a striker up front. I don't know. I just think that if Nkunku's fit, and we've not seen it yet, we still need to see this in Nkunku, but if he's fit and he's playing, you even saw it in Nkunku when he come on the pitch. I'm not joking. Like the way, like him and Palmer were linking up already.
real talk.
Them two were playing with each other. I was like, the quality of the two with the ball. I was like, shit. Like you could see it. Do you know what I mean? It was like, geez, if they could like good telepathical thing, that could be a serious too, And I really do think Nkunku and Palmer have to play together. In my opinion, they're the two. I think when they're fit, have to play.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. That would be interesting to see if they can develop because they didn't even have the preseason, right?
No,
like we didn't even see that in the preseason. So
no, you're right.
So it'd be nice to see what kind of like a partnership they can form together. I feel like it's going to be dangerous just based on the fact that they both think the game the same way. And this is what I was talking about before. This is why, I always. You think about players that are on the wavelength, and like certain players like to play slow, certain players like to 1-2, certain players like to get in behind. You have to get players in the team that understand how each other want to play, the tendencies, and can complement each other in that way. And I just feel like we haven't really done a good job of that under Pochettino, like in terms of like putting together, this player likes to play quick, this player likes to play 1-2s. This player likes to run in behind, and finding players that match that. Like that play the game a similar way. Like the obviously the fly in the ointment the whole time has been like Gallagher in the number 10. Gallagher does not think the game the same way as some of these players that we have in the forward roles. He just doesn't think that way. So why do you have him in that position with such a coveted position? I understand like obviously you want to keep the structure and the shape and like you want to liberate a few other players from having too many defensive responsibilities. You want to be able to press effectively. But like when you're looking for a goal and you need somebody, you need somebody to just have that little bit of intuition, ingenuity in the final third. You can't have Gallagher playing with these guys. It just doesn't make any sense.
No, I don't.
I agree.
He likes players that work hard, and in some games, Gallagher will start. I still think Gallagher will start games even with a fit team, which is weird. But
what's crazy?
Something like that.
What's crazy? The type of football that we saw once Reece James and Nkunku and Sterling came on in that second half was way different to what we was doing before that, because just the link ups and the distances between the players is just so different.
Yeah, but even with that said, as much as I agree with that, I would say that a lot of that came down to the fatigue. Like Nottingham Forest were defending and they were fatigued, like they were switched off. That play that released Reece James, whoever was the left back, he was sleeping. So I think a lot of what we saw, the quick movement and the 1-2s and whatnot, was just down to the fact that like those motherfuckers was tired, man. They couldn't continue to play as tight as as aggressively as they were, and we exposed them.
No, I agree.
I just pray for the day that I see this one day. And if he doesn't ever do this if they're all fit and going to go, I need to see this midfield and this attack. I need to see it. I need to see it. Do you know what I mean? Like I have to vision it because Enzo will go into that further. They will both go further because Caicedo will now be unleashed. He won't have to. What will happen when we're off the ball is Caicedo will be the one that drops automatically back next to Lavia. He'll be the one that digs in more. Enzo will get back. He will do, but he won't have to defensively have to worry too much when you've got Lavia, who's natural in that position, able to play, you know. So all you've done really is, I think, unlocked Enzo to be able to be more involved effectively further forward and play these quicker balls. And if you've got Nkunku, Jackson and Palmer intricately is like Fernandes in creating, dropping deep, receiving balls, linking the play, getting the ball at the pitch. And then you've got Nkunku, Jackson just doing what they do, running in behind and fucking getting in front of goal, and then bang. Like, it's, I think it could be pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
it's a lot of ballers. It's a lot of ballers on at the same time, you know. So
Nkunku
the only
is that
thing
killer.
is it's not much width.
No, it'll be all inverted. That's the issue. Yeah, well, everybody's going for the middle. This is why you have this. Reece James is capable of doing that all day.
True. You're right.
Gusto, I've just put there because I think we will end up getting a left back. But even Gusto up and down there next to Nkunku, there's a relationship there. But both, like, you know, French. It could work. Like, I don't know. Maybe
French. They're both French.
Couch, that's not enough for you?
No, it's enough. It's enough. They're French, man. You know.
They're both French. They played with each other in international, so God knows, you know. Like, I'm just saying, but who knows? All of that to look forward to in the future. It's been a good match preview, guys. I've enjoyed it. We will be doing a match reaction to the game on Thursday at 1 p.m. So we will see you back here for the match reactions to the Brighton game. It's a late one tomorrow. It kicks off at 7:45 UK time. So it will probably finish at like 10 UK time. And then people will be either seething or happy, and then we get to relax and analyze it properly and come back to you the next day and break it down. And what we've been doing a lot on the show on reactions, I don't know if you've noticed, we've been highlighting the goals. We've been able to do that now, but we've also been showing how our setups, the more intricate stuff now in these match reactions, which I think people like to see. So, you know, last show round we had nearly 400-500 people there. We've done nearly 10k views. There was a lot of people intrigued. We're going to continue trying to do that for you guys as well.
Yeah,
so,
I see that. I saw that.
You know, we're pushing it. Ideally, we want to do them on the back of games, but because this one's so late, we've agreed to do it on 1 p.m. the next day. But maybe the Bournemouth one will be a straight match reaction, as it's the last game of the season. We might even make Europa League at that point, so it might be a little yay. We got Europa League.
You guys should still test how it does, you know, even after the late games. I mean,
yeah.
We already set it up. Yeah.
They've asked us to do it the next day because they're going to upload a bit more. But that's fine. Guys, big love to you all. Let me ask. I was going to ask match score predictions, but Couch don't tell us because he never does. And AJ, we'll ask AJ.
I just say Chelsea win, man. We gotta win, bro. We have no choice. Just win.
Yeah, just win.
I agree. It's a good way to end it, really, isn't it? Just continue winning. That's what we've been doing recently. Continue to win, guys. Continue to win. All right,
let's go, City.
Let's go, City. Let's go, Chelsea. Let's go, guys. See you later on. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy your day.
City to win.
Peace.